By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I constitute this assembly a congregation of the University of Cape Town.
We will sing the national anthem. I invite you to remain standing while I invite the SRC member, Mr. Chanda Chungu. He is the chairperson of the Law Postgraduate Student Council and a teaching assistant in the Faculty of Law. He will read the university dedication.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and congratulations. At this time of celebration, we, the members of the University of Cape Town, reaffirm our mission to nurture rational and creative thought and free inquiry, to strive for excellence in teaching and research, to educate for life, and to address the challenges of our society. We undertake to advance these ideals in a spirit of freedom and responsibility, and through consultation and debate. We celebrate our founders, benefactors, and predecessors, those who have built the fabric and nourished the values of UCT. To those of you who will graduate today, we wish you courage, wisdom, and purpose. To those of you who will leave the university to learn and work elsewhere, may you be sustained by these values which unite us here today and advance them in the world beyond. A love of truth and of learning, and of this, our university. Congratulations. Thank you.
Please be seated. We now have the pleasure to hear some musical items from our students in the College of Music. Once they have played, I will tell you who they are and what the items were.
Sole, ora sere Lucem velastre, a fenestra tuia, galavana racantanta servata, e pestramente troques pan vecante, lucem velastre ad fenastrae toi.
That was utterly sublime, I'm sure you will agree. Before we proceed, I would like to take the opportunity to thank our musicians. They are standing here on my left. And just to tell you a little bit about them. They're all from the College of Music. Now, the Processional March was performed by Black Roots Marimbas, led by African music student Sky Gladler. She recently represented South Africa at a global music camp in Brazil, and she graduated yesterday. Congratulations. The national anthem was accompanied on the organ by alumna Eben Wachenstroom, who has just completed a master's in piano at the University of Cincinnati and returns there in August to continue with the DMA. Congratulations to him. Pianist Johannes Visser, who graduates in July, coming July, with a degree with distinction in composition, has been accepted to study a master's in composition at the University of Louisville in Kentucky, USA. His new work, Sprookie, will be premiered with the UCT Symphony Orchestra on the 13th of June in Baxter, and we hope to see you there. Congratulations. Johannes accompanied opera singer Zwakele Chabalala in the rousing tenor solo O Solo Mio by Eduardo Di Capua. Congratulations. Thank you, musicians. It is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for the morning. Our guest speaker is Professor Heinz Kruger. He's the FG Bascom Professor of Law at the University of Wisconsin Law School and an Honorary Senior Research Associate in the School of Law at the University of the Witwatersrand. He grew up in Durban, South Africa, and for many years played a very strong role in various activities in the anti-apartheid struggle. And eventually, in fact, he told me this morning that he did come to Cape Town for a short while, but things were getting a bit hot, and so he left and spent 11 years in exile, and returned to South Africa in 1990 as a member of the ANC Land Commission and researcher for Zola Skweyiya. He was at that stage the chairperson of the ANC Constitutional Committee. Now, he was also a member of the World Bank mission to South Africa on land reform and rural restructuring. He has taught in Wisconsin. He now lives in Wisconsin and he's taught since 1996. Now, what else has he been doing? He's remained in contact with South Africa throughout his career and has contributed in many, many different ways. He taught law at the University of the Witwatersrand in Johannesburg from 1991 to 1996, and he offers courses on public international law, human rights law, property law, post-apartheid law, and introduction to South African law, among many others. He worked as a legal advisor after 1994 with the South African Ministry of Water Affairs, as well as the Ministry of Land Affairs on water law and land issues. Now, he's an international scholar, well known across the world, and has taught matters of the South African Constitution and other matters on land reform, water law in places such as Australia, Canada, Colombia, Ethiopia, Germany, the Netherlands, the USA, and many other places. So what are his current research interests are constitutional transitions, constitution building, human rights, international legal regimes, and natural resources. His current teaching includes comparative constitutional law, human rights and humanitarian law, property, natural resources law. Now, he's also recently published a book entitled Constituting Democracy, and it's about South Africa's transition and the process towards developing the constitution in this country. So it is a great, great pleasure and honor to be able to welcome Professor Klug to our stage today and to hear him tell a little bit of his story and interesting things along the way. Welcome.
Graduates, parents and families, Acting Vice-Chancellor Korda, deans and colleagues, good morning and congratulations. Congratulations especially to all your parents, partners and families for all the support they've given to you students, because without them, we wouldn't all be here. You are undoubtedly delighted, that is the parents and families, that the long-awaited graduation date has finally arrived. I'm honored to be invited to speak today, although I must confess that I was a little surprised, since I failed to graduate from UCT after registering as a graduate student in economic history in January 1979. Furthermore, I cannot even blame UCT for my failure, since my student career year was rudely interrupted after only one semester on campus when I was forced to flee the country to exile in Botswana. As a result, I eventually completed my professional education abroad, returning home in 1990, but continuing to be split in time and commitments between here and overseas. I mention my own trajectory only to emphasize that while I am aware that the last 2 years here at the University of Cape Town have been difficult years, today is a time to look to the future. And while we cannot see the future, for each one of you today marks the beginning of a professional journey, one that will offer opportunities as well as obligations. As medical and legal professionals, you'll have the privilege to sit in the front row of life's dramas, to help with decisions that profoundly affect people's lives, to address conflicts over resources, power, and personal relationships. Whatever your role, those of you who see your future in the health sciences must know that your work touches, directly or indirectly, on the most important and consequential aspect of all our lives, as individuals and families, that is our health. Whether you will spend your days serving patients or become involved in research or other dimensions of healthcare and policy, always remember that not only is our individual health deeply connected to the health of our community and our society more generally, but that your duty as health professionals is to respect the dignity of all who you encounter, and especially the vulnerable. At times, you may be directly confronted with the pain and horror of illness and even death. But always remember that as you bring your skills and abilities to bear in any situation, your first duty is to do no harm. The same, may I say, should apply to you future lawyers. For the lawyers among you, if you work in the courts, you will see accused individuals retain or lose their freedom. You'll be drawn into the pain of victims and families. Outside the courts, you may sit at tables where financial deals and legal settlements are being hammered out, as advisors and counselors to government or civil society. You'll be at the center of political conflicts, confronting government and private power. This front seat role is both an extraordinary privilege and a significant burden. You're responsible to your clients, but as an officer of the court and our legal system more generally, you're also responsible to uphold and give meaning to the rule of law and our Constitution. As it happens, I was asked to speak at my own law school graduation ceremony in 1989 as an elected student speaker for my class at the University of California, Hastings College of the Law. At the time, I was in exile from South Africa, and as you will be aware, Nelson Mandela was still in prison. While many of my classmates were headed to law firms, I was heading into the unknown, back to Africa to continue opposing apartheid. But sometimes life takes amazing turns. Within a year, Nelson Mandela had been released from prison. Soon, I was back home in South Africa, where I had the extraordinary good fortune to serve during the transition to democracy, and as a young lawyer to participate in the debates that form part of our country's constitution-making process. Those experiences, right out of law school, shaped the way I still think about the professions you are about to enter. Substantive notions of right and wrong, of professional authority and ethical duties, of law and human rights, serve as the foundation of our professional commitments and obligations. As professionals and citizens, our ultimate responsibility, one that incorporates our duties to patients and clients and our own personal and professional integrity, is to serve to the best of our abilities, to do no harm, and to live up to the ideals of our young democracy and Constitution. For all of you as professionals and citizens, this includes a duty to further the promise of our liberation from apartheid. For the future lawyers among you, this includes a duty to uphold the rule of law as guaranteed in the Constitution. From this perspective, the Constitution gives us all a substantive vision of democracy, a vision on which professional lives are built. Some might argue that government by law, that is, the principle that all people and institutions are subject to and accountable to law that is fairly applied and enforced, has always been a core element of our government. But we should never forget that the law has repeatedly been restored and reinvigorated through the struggles of communities, social movements, and their lawyers. This understanding of law's role goes beyond procedural formalities or law on the books, embracing instead a vision of the law as upholding the dignity and equality of all persons, even in the face of unjust laws. Remember, your parents and many of your teachers here grew up at a time when our country claimed to be democratic and abide by the rule of law, but it was the law of apartheid. That system's law of racial oppression was created by an undemocratic legislature and enforced by courts that imposed injustice. Sadly, many of South African lawyers at the time accepted apartheid, refusing to question fundamental injustice or even to acknowledge the way both the law and its enforcement systematically denied most South Africans their basic human rights. The same may be said for many in the health profession who also turned a blind eye to the unequal treatment and suffering around them. These failures had a direct impact on the legitimacy of our social institutions, both public and private. And when institutions lose legitimacy, professionals face difficult choices. But let us not forget that even at apartheid's height, there were those in the professions you are entering, both black and white, who did challenge the system of unjust laws and racist practices. While acknowledging that over the generations, many men and women in the professions took up the struggle against apartheid, let me mention only a few of the most famous from the earliest days of the struggle. Doctors Tluma, Naika, and Dadu, who signed the Three Doctors Pact in 1947 that united the African National Congress and the Indian Congresses in a campaign for democracy and human rights. And two young lawyers, Nelson Mandela and Oliver Tambo, who in the early 1950s dedicated their legal practice to defending those victimized by a racist system. Eventually, Nelson Mandela was forced to abandon his legal practice for political struggle. His law partner, Oliver Tambo, went into exile, where he worked to mobilize world opinion and led the struggle against apartheid. The rest, as you know, is history. 21 years ago, South Africa adopted a new post-apartheid constitution, promising the establishment of a non-racial, non-sexist democracy. Since then, our institutions, old and new, have been called upon to address the legacies of colonialism and apartheid. This task, as you all know, is not simple nor easy. Even our highest institutions, such as Parliament and the Constitutional Court, have faced repeated challenges. The Constitutional Court has repeatedly been called upon to interpret, reshape, and reconsider the substantive meaning of our new constitutional order. The decisions that have flowed from these challenges have had a profound impact on our society, and the court has been increasingly called upon to deal with new problems, including political patronage and corruption that at times challenges its institutional capacity. Even as we live today, in a time of renewed political uncertainty, we as professionals and citizens should remain aware of how important it is to maintain and build institutions, even as they struggle to transform themselves. While the present is laden with many uncertainties, let me take us back just a few years to another time of tragic uncertainty that required professionals from both the law and the health sciences to stand up for the principles our professions espouse and the promise of the Constitution. I'm thinking of the late 1990s and early 2000s, when the scourge of HIV/AIDS was haunting South Africa. While antiretroviral medicines, which would ultimately transform the disease, were just emerging, their global price and our government's commitment to international trade deals led to a tragic policy of denial and all too slow response to the pandemic. In the face of this tragedy, there were health professionals, doctors and lawyers, and social movements such as the Treatment Action Campaign who refused to accept the limits placed on our institutions. Instead, they took seriously their professional commitments and the promise of our Constitution. Whether it was health professionals establishing clinics, lawyers appealing to the Constitutional Court, or activists bringing medicines into the country in defiance of the law, it was this commitment to the ideal enshrined in the Constitution that everyone has the right to have access to healthcare services that saw our institutions rise up to meet the challenge of the pandemic. This struggle for access to life-saving medicines was based on a promise that is central to our Constitution's vision, to create a society ruled by law, equality, and dignity. Recognizing and upholding a substantively rich conception of the rule of law might sound like a very heavy burden to impose on new graduates, whether lawyers or health professionals, but it is important. Whether a system of rules considered generally legitimate, without a system of rules considered generally legitimate and applied fairly, we are left only with the exercise of untrammeled power. The great claim of democratic constitutionalism is that it provides for the exercise of power while simultaneously protecting against the abuse of power. Democracy provides a mechanism for majority decision-making and voice for those who participate. But the rule of law requires that any exercise of power must be justified by reference to an explicit grant of authority or a reasoned explanation of how and why a particular decision is legitimate under law. It is this same commitment to reason and ethical conduct that should guide you as future professionals, whether in law or medicine. As legal and health professionals, you have the opportunity, and I would suggest obligation, to help your communities address the social and economic needs of our society through your professional and political engagements. This is the opportunity you have, and I encourage you to embrace it. Again, congratulations. I wish you every success in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Klug. Thank you for your dedication, your wise words, and most particularly for being with us in South Africa all the time while you weren't in South Africa. We really, really appreciate it. Moving on, folks, I'm now going to invite our praise singer, Imbongi, to praise the students, the parents, and the teachers. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the Imbongi. An Imbongi is a composer and an orator of poems and praise. Imbongi offer critical commentary on narrative and on the state of society through their izibongo. Here on offer, a poem of praise, an umbongo, in honor of graduates, their families, the teachers, is a UCT student, an artist, and a music education student, Neliswa Sampi Nwielwa, whose stage name is Sange. Now, Sange herself also graduated on Thursday and is currently enrolled as an honors student in education. Congratulations, Sange. Please, Sange.
kwethu kumnyama kwavela ukukhanya. Lapho nginyanga laseMzantsi Afrika. Ngoba kaloku icama kulivumile. Awethu Qamatu uyaphila. Ngoba umsebenzi awuqalile uyawugqibezela. Ewe lidudumile lasongoma laqheqheza ladlula. Yanivuna yanela nawe. Abizwa amagama makwedini. Laselabizwa nelakho. Wangumpumelelo nolompumelelo. Molo ntsikelelo. Molo nawe nontsikelelo. Uthi mathi ngqunqe ndigide ndityityibe xa ndibona abazali. Izalamane nesihlobo zabe bezixhasa le mfundo. Ngathi ndiyabona ezonyembezi zinqamleza umbombo. Ewe kaloku imfundo loyifuna iqhoshe engenamntunja. Sule ezonyembezi zekhala kaloku. Ulile sovuyo. Ngoba umqubukade udutyela uvuthiwe madoda. Hlambane ezo sipaji nithi themba mqala uzawuginya. Hayi makwethu nasincuba qhopho. Ewe kaloku ningumthombo. Umthombo ophuma ulwazi apha ilizwe lonke lisela khona. Nina amabele abhonxileyo apho kuphuma ubusi namasi. Apho zonke ezintsana zincanca khona. Umsebenzi enwenzayo umhle makwedini. Sithi huntu nakuni. Okagabuti wosho umntomla buthithi bumsuthu umjobi. Agawule bakhuka madoda engade wangcolise wagqobha. Ephume sithi ndili yeke ndinje nje. Kuma ndili yeke. Ndinje nje guta. Ndili yeke ndinje. Ndili yeke ma. Ndili yeke hayo. Atipa. Hama ndili yeke che. Ndili yeke ma. Ndili yeke ndinje nje. Halala.
Thank you, Sangha Nkosi. It is now my pleasure, before I actually move on to the next item, I just want to remind you that Sangha's praise poem will be available for sale in the Social Science building after the ceremony. And please, I'm sure she will be there to talk to her. It is now my pleasure to hand over to the presiding officer, Acting Vice-Chancellor Professor Kruger, to proceed with the next stage of the ceremony.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I admit to the degrees specified and grant the diplomas specified to the candidates recorded as in absentia. I shall now grant the diplomas and admit to the degrees specified the candidates to be presented to me.
As members of the health profession, we have certain ethical and professional obligations to our patients and to society. At this point, as we graduate and enter a new season of our lives, it is important that we spell out those obligations and remind ourselves of them. I wish to invite members of the health sciences faculty as well as the health sciences profession to stand and to join me in saying the Health Sciences Declaration. Please join me as I read. I solemnly pledge to serve humanity. My most important considerations will be the health of patients and health of their communities. I will not permit considerations of age, gender, race, religion, ethnic origin, sexual orientation, disease, disability, or any other factor to adversely affect the care I give to patients. I will uphold human rights and civil liberties to advance health even under threat. I will engage patients and colleagues as partners in healthcare. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity. I will respect the confidentiality of patients, present or past, living or deceased. I will value research and will be guided in its conduct by the highest ethical standards. I commit myself to lifelong learning. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Thank you. May I invite you to sit down. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the postgraduate diploma in addictions care. With distinction, Fazana Yusuf Beg. Nico Edward Benting. Posisa Faith Tung. Tara Kaylin Gerardi. For the postgraduate diploma in advanced midwifery and neonatal care, Hawa Hendricks. Bomikazi Ethel Shotika. Nontituzelo Precious Masia. Kensani Yulenda Silao. Tabitha Docas Skei Gladile. For the postgraduate diploma in disability studies, Shanaz Abdul. Delicia DeFos. Basil Johnson. Lux Matoto. Esther Ntabeseng Matsoso. Tara Miranda Mdlalose. Netiwe Mdlulwa. Kusela Mgoqi. Zetu Popuma. Patson Sebata. Lesibana Franz Sebueng. Congratulations once more to Lesibana Franz Sebueng. The next graduate is Viwe Aubrey Sigenu. For the postgraduate diploma in healthcare technology management, Semijo Cecilia Flanagan. With distinction, Floris Moses Jeftas. Zwelitini Appreciate Cosa. Kaseu Willem Machele. Sipo Kaifas Mbamali. Mamusidi Dichepiso Moli Sakeng. Tobega Silwane. For the postgraduate diploma in health professional education, with distinction, Lara Jane Heathfield. Crystal Jacobs. Kebiditswe Nana Masike. With distinction, Gillian Deline Peterson. Sorry, excuse me, Yumna Mayet was scratched out in my list, but thank you for coming. This is Yumna Mayet. With distinction, Gillian Deline Peterson. Oh, okay. Apologies, there was an error here. We will move to the next list. For the postgraduate diploma in nursing in advanced midwifery and neonatal care, Sisanda Goa. Fiona Elaine Leshoro. For the postgraduate diploma in nursing, in child nursing, with distinction, Elijeska Karin Kraus. Elizabeth N. Isaacs. With distinction, Zulfa Joshua. Kwanele Richard Kula. Veronica Bongiwe Mkikela Gaia. Dunyiswa Mvenyeza. Ola Dia Mvundla. Emelina Celeste Salomo. Sipokazi Spondo. For the postgraduate diploma in nursing in critical care nursing child, Andrea Samatha Amos. Claudine Wendy Cloutier. Siposetu Yanki. Nadia Harris. Vilmarie Dorel Hendricks. Nosipo Mabusela. Mpo Lydia Makotla. Nobulali Mali. Tandile Judith Mputi. Andeswa Mvula. Riva Nancy Rode. For the postgraduate diploma in nursing, in nephrology nursing, Sicelo Godfrey Sikakane. For the postgraduate diploma in occupational health, Kim Teresa Bemoski. With distinction, Yotam Mkonjetsi Moyo. For the postgraduate diploma in palliative medicine, with distinction, Belinda Shashana Cohen. With distinction, Jane Elizabeth Cunningham. Sumaya Hansa. With distinction, Linda Faith Holding. Shamila Begum Hussein. With distinction, Tracy Lee Newpen. Leonard Leo Petrus. Mistaken identity there. Lorraine Evelyn Stuttard. Rashika Tayob. For the postgraduate diploma in pesticide risk management, Dennis Anthony Paul. For the postgraduate diploma in psychotherapy, Carmen Marie Andres. Glorette Mayberg. With distinction, Everhardus Johannes Smith.
Good morning. Congratulations to the parents, the partners, the friends and loved ones of those who are going to get a degree in law today. And to the graduates, the law graduates, I salute you and I congratulate you. Well done. Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the postgraduate Diploma in Law in Commercial Law, Mateboho Makala Rantofe. For the postgraduate Diploma in Law in Tax Law, Chantal Ann Orenser. Aisha Arnold. Rosemary Zimbini Kalipa. Roleta Nwabisa Mabete. Sandiswa Nebe. Muhammad Shakir Sali. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws, cum laude, Mohammed Adam. Suzanne Bade. Francis Meg Sefton Barker. Kwabakazi Yonda Beya. Magna cum laude, Lauren Biggs. Katie May Bolton. Mark Jonathan Borchard. Cum laude, Ruth Hannah Brown. Philippa Heather Campbell. Josh John Carew. Gloria Paidimoyo Chikaondo. Petra Christians. Robin Joanna Christians. Savas Theo Christodoulou. Matthew Jesse Kutsi. Genevieve Louisa Cook. Leonette Graffett. Munyaratsi Michael Tadenda Dauya. Cum laude, Jason Peter de Klerk. Nicole Dembitzer. Lindsay Jane Diamond. Trabiseng Tandeka Nomvuyo Dirimelo. Daniel Flandorp. Sarah Forshaw. Chloe Ramona Francis. Kira Jade Francis. Azola Sipe Fuchana. Chido Trish Garwe. Muhammad Yusha Hassant. Rylan Charleston Gosh. Charlene Joycelyn Khoko. Ridineka Nepal Gulabjit. Priyanka Gaunden. Lauren Ashley Granger. Adam Nathan Gray. Alice Rose Haddon. Zia Al-Haq Faisal Hafaji. Akila Hassan. Cum laude Siasanga Hai. Pascale Horo. Nicholas Michael Hawk. Muhsina Ishmael. Sarah Gabrielle Jones. Khadija Kajika. Natasha Esther Karpool. Nikita Mashita Kekana. Poppy Romancia Kwade. Farhan Ali Kaufi. Yusra Kriel. Clarissa Jade Laltha. Nicole Sarah Lee. Rebecca Elizabeth Lenahan. Jenna Lee Leonard. Caitlin Leroy. Rowan Jacques Levoux. Christlyn Veronica Limburg. Amy Joan Lintner. Keegan Gregory Lowe. Cum laude, Hailey Elizabeth Lyle. John William McKechnie. Nandi Maisela. Robert Neil Manning. Skumbuzo Sipo Mapanga. Catherine Annabelle Marcus. Erin Lindsay Mazaro. Machocho Confidence Makoto Masetla. Congratulations. Nombuso Tobila Matibela. Elias Mayet. Caleb McKellar. Catherine Ann McLean. Scott Ross McLean. Georgia Louise McNee Tate. Benjamin David Mendelson. Silendile Pearl Mshlongo. Diane Nonshlanshla Moshlaba. Alex Molleron. Benjani Joy Seteka. Rotandwa Malautsi. Melandri Michelle Naidu. Fuyisile Hope Nkube. Lendiwe Patricia and Lovu. Pilenchle and Lovu. Fumisa Kanyisili Nkrele. Cum laude, Chloe Lee Noland. Cum laude, Joshua Alexander Knott. Kelly November. Fizeka Kanwisi. Willard Petrus Neoni. Tando wetu Swelabanzi Meshloka Zulu Inzamandi. Vinesh Patel. Vinesh Patel. Sarah Lee Petty. Tracy Ann Farrow. Relebo Hile Fufolo. Nicholas Edward Platt. Kathy Ann Potgieter. Kathy Ann Potgieter. Magna cum laude, Rachel Jennifer Potter. Christel Pretorius. Michaela Lee Pym. Melissa Rabe. Cum laude, Natasha Rachwell. Siana Matilda Ramabulana. Surakasha Ramlal. Prashanti Ramnanan. Nandi Clara Rayner. Christina Olivia Ringer. Dugald Murdoch Robertson. Sophie Elizabeth Robertson. Jenna Lee Rod. William Michael Rosenberg. Adrian Martin Rue. Umduduzi Aviton Ruita. Daryl George Rudolph Scotsman. Tandiwe Elizabeth Seboletswe. Emma Alexandra Selfie. Katlehau Serobi. Ibrahim Ahmed Sheikh. Gemma Romy Shagi. Megan Elizabeth Shave. Nonkululeko Sibanyoni. Daniel Benjamin Siv. John Lang Smale. Astrid Southgate. Isabel Elizabeth Statler. Cum laude Sophie Louise Stratton. Evan Strauss. Steffi Sellers Strauss. Taylor Strauss. Alexandra Catherine Swanepoel. Munamato Virginia Takaona. Matthew Christopher Terry. Tamara Lee Thomas. Brett Neil Thompson. James William Throssell. Lyndall Susan Thwaites. Denver Titus. Bryn William Travel. Simon Alexander Maisels Trisk. Cum laude, Michelle Ann Van Schaik. Nicole Van Zyl. Lutando Sandisiwe Velakazi. Cody Luca Werley. Michael David Watson. Ruald Emmanuel Wilson. Christopher Andrew Wood. Lisa Zengeni. Tafatswa Sophelia Zingoni. non kululeko nosipo zondo.
Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Medical Science Honors in Applied Anatomy, Wadzanai Muramba. In Bioinformatics, First Class, Claire Elaine Dorothea Gerard. In Cell Biology, Temwani Chalwa. With First Class, Alexandra Sharon Glover. Non Jabuliso Tengetile Manyachi. Tulisa Mkatazo. Stephanie Maria Ngube. Anastasia Kim Peterson. In clinical pharmacology, Clivon Keida Kluti. With First Class, Catherine Ruth Krikla. With First Class, Yusasha Pillay. In Forensic Genetics with First Class, Kate Megan Reed. In Human Genetics, First Class, Jennifer Lee Judd. With First Class, Stephanie Bernadette Beatrice Julius. With First Class, Tepiso Rachel Masakwamang. With First Class, Marianne Sophia Mahfoud. Sinovuyo Zepe. In infectious diseases and immunology, first class, Brittany Amber Jacobs. Pumudzo Komunala. Tandy Elsie Maguire. With first class, Robin John Matthew Munia. Nontobeko Fortunate Mtembu. With first class, Sandy Siwe Zelda Noholoza. With first class, Jessica Jane Pollock. With first class, Michael John Mark Rosley. With first class, Caitlin Rosemary Taylor. Andrea Lizzle Young. With first class at Chambers Zita Zaukenberger. In medical biochemistry, Nicole Kirsten Arense. With first class, Timothy Jack Devitt. With first class, Mde Mukit ul Islam. Waldo Gideon Lexo. With first class, Nilakshki Mangra. Dimakato Alice Santebani. Alice Chipo Teresa Tsetse. In medical physics, Lerushka Nell. In physiology, first class, Jeremy Douglas Yarman. Zukiswa Kanyisile Jiki. Peletso Letuka. With first class, Antoinette Nell. Jane Claire Snowball. In structural biology, Darien Taiba Shell. For the degree of Bachelor of Medical Science Honors, Biokinetics, first class, Safwan Ahmed. With first class, Wendy Lien Knoll. Yolanda Shuvai Mazekana. Stacy Amanda Nelman. With first class, Andrew Graham Parks. With first class, Gregory Michael Schwartz. With first class, Claire Shackleton. With first class, Lyndall Catherine Smith. With first class, Kaylee Robin Stockton. For the degree of Bachelor of Medical Science Honors, Exercise Science, Matthew Grant Lepan. Kilebohile Mabel Celebano. With first class, Catherine Mel van Boom. For the degree of Bachelor of Medical Science Honors, Dietetics, with first class, Megan Tracy Atchison. Jamie Grant. With first class, Ashley Ann Hillary. Roseanne Lombard. Kelly Monique Wegele.
Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Master of Laws in Commercial Law, Omoyoma Agwaye. Wana Wamweni Chinsembu. Kangwa Musule George Chisanga. Elimang Mpo Alexandra Cassandra Modisani. Michael William Prinsloo. For the degree of Master of Laws in Dispute Resolution, Rudy Kotze. For the degree of Master of Laws in Intellectual Property Law, Shumiraj Pipawa Neashanu. For the degree of Master of Laws in International Trade Law with distinction, Jess Donnelly. For the degree of Master of Laws in Labor Law, Lindani Innocent Mkwanazi. For the degree of Master of Laws in Tax Law, Catherine Fiona Bobo. Niambura Mwagiru.
Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Master of Medicine in Anesthesia with distinction in the dissertation, Matthew Winton Gibbs. In family medicine, Shapi Mukiapini. In urology, Jonathan Henry Wicht. That's he's not here. Apologies, he's not here. Just a check. Thank you. Apologies for that. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Anatomical Pathology, with distinction in the dissertation, Louis Johann de Jager. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Cardiothoracic Surgery, with distinction in the dissertation, Alfred Uriapehe Mureko. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Obstetrics and Gynecology, Khatija Kadwa. Marlies Lem. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Occupational Medicine, with distinction in the dissertation, Dorothy Ngajilo. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Psychiatry, Candice Ivana Jacobsen. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Surgery, with distinction in the dissertation, Pueya Mekonjo Nashidengo. For the degree of Master of Philosophy in Biomedical Forensic Science, with distinction in the dissertation, Maria Magdalena Kruger. With distinction in the dissertation, Innocent Makasa. For the degree of Master of Public Health in Clinical Research, Yumna Isaacs. For the degree of Master of Science in Medicine in Clinical Pharmacology, with distinction, Werner Berg. In Medical Biochemistry, with distinction, Ursula Claire Andong Kong Edzizi. Acting Vice-Chancellor, members of the congregation, I have a singular honor of presenting a candidate who's graduating with 2 degrees today. Matthew Emoni is graduating with a degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, and with distinction for the degree of Master of Science in Medicine and Physiology. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Clinical Pharmacology, and for a thesis which investigates how genetic variants influence antiretroviral drug-related metabolic complications and exposure, and how concentrations of antiretrovirals affect blood lipid and glucose concentrations in HIV-infected Black South Africans. Pumla Zuleika Sinadi. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Disability Studies, and for a thesis which identifies the centrality of lifelong care relationships between people with intellectual disabilities and family caregivers, and thus proposes and demonstrates the utility of ethics of care theory in addressing sexuality issues of people with intellectual disabilities. Kalista Kanganwiro Kahonde. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Human Genetics, for a thesis which highlights the potential risks of interaction between medicinal remedies and commonly prescribed therapeutic drugs, thus serving to inform judicious co-use, Nicholas Echo Thomford. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Medical Biochemistry, and for a thesis which investigates the atomic structure and mechanism for filament formation in the cyanide dihydratase enzyme from Bacillus pumilus using cryo-electron microscopy, biophysical and genetic techniques, and has enabled the design of more stable enzymes. Andani Errol Mulelu. For a degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Medical Biochemistry, in Medical Microbiology, for a thesis by using a detailed phenotypic and genotypic analysis, extends the understanding of the nasopharyngeal carriage by Staphylococcus aureus during infancy in the healthy population. Shima Mohammed Abdul Gada. For a degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Medicine, and for a thesis which reports treatment-related outcomes, susceptibility profiles, and transmission dynamics of XDR-TB patients and their ability to amplify the epidemic after home discharge. I present to you Gerbert Elizabeth Peterson. Acting Vice-Chancellor, we say halala to all the graduates today. Well done. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, we've been sitting here for a long time, and I apologize for the late start. There was just a little bit of a logistical mix-up. But on occasions like this, I don't know about you guys, but I just feel completely overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. I get worried about the high heels in the little crack in the carpet over there. I get worried about all sorts of things. But mostly, I get completely overwhelmed by emotion. Because each and every one of these people who has come here this morning, young and sometimes not so young, to get degrees, diplomas, have overcome obstacles, some of them multiple and really extraordinary obstacles to be here. So this is a moment of fantastic celebration and joy, and we should embrace it in its fullness. Several people have referred to the challenges, the disturbances, the disruptions that have occurred over the last 2 years at this university. This group of graduates has studied and triumphed and achieved through all of that. These are the kinds of challenges that we must face, and I sincerely believe that those who have graduated and those who continue to work through these challenges, in fact, come out as better people able to cope with the kind of immense challenges that we face in the world into which we go when we leave this hall. But moments like this morning, or hours like this morning, occasions like this morning, make it seem supremely all worthwhile. You will become, those of you who are graduating for the first time from UCT, a member of Convocation. Convocation's been surprisingly very much in the news recently at this university. But it is a congregation or a convocation, a gathering together of hundreds of thousands, no, that's an exaggeration, more than 100,000 living graduates throughout the world. The president of Convocation, Ms. Lorna Houston, was the second person who did the hooding this morning. And Convocation plays an incredibly important role in the life of the university. You have the right, you're enfranchised now, those who've graduated, to participate in the election of council for 6 members of council every 4 or 5 years or so. But Convocation is also the sounding board for the university to hear whether we're failing, whether we're succeeding, and to get input. And of course, in these times of financial austerity, we also look to you for support. So I want you to take your role as a member of Convocation seriously, please, in the years that lie ahead. Now is the time, we've had reference to this from time to time, but now is the time, as our wonderful Mbongi reminded us at the beginning, to say thanks. And the first vote of thanks that I want to propose is to those who keep this university running. To the academic staff, some of whom are represented here on the platform, to what are called the professional, administrative, and support staff, those who've made sure that this whole ceremony has run without a hitch. And also, of course, there's another graduation ceremony at which I'm to preside at 3 o'clock, so don't linger too long in the hall afterwards, because people have to come in, to clean, to rearrange, and it's those people as well who also are security personnel. So I want you all together to thank those people right now. When I last presided over one of these ceremonies, it was a very boisterous and noisy one. I couldn't hear the name of the next person being announced because there was so much noise going on. Things were great this morning. I could greet almost every single person by their first name. But this is overwhelmingly, as people have told us already, a relational ceremony. Because there are people here, there, and outside this hall who have given birth to, nurtured, supported every moment of the way the people sitting there. So I'm going to ask that side of the hall in a moment to rise to your feet, to make eye contact, if you can, with your loved one in this hall, and to make a lot of noise with your scrolls. Now, please. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. As I mentioned, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, we live in an incredibly challenging world, and events seem to sometimes overwhelm us. The law students would have noticed that every time I've spoken, other than this one, and the last time I speak, I talk about by virtue of the authority conferred upon me. The administrative lawyers will know what I'm talking about there. But the other message that all the LLB graduates will know that I have preached unashamedly and repeatedly throughout the teaching that I've done in the Faculty of Law in this university is no matter how much you differ with other people, no matter how much you may be angry with other people, you nevertheless never lose your acknowledgement of respect for the basic human dignity of every single person with whom we operate. And that's my message that I want to leave you with. Thank you very much indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vice-Chancellor, I would like the opportunity to say a last few words and to add my congratulations to the graduates and the families. Just a few words in parting. We recognize that we train professionals of all sorts, actuaries, engineers, many scientists and lawyers, physiotherapists, medical specialists. But the most important thing that we really believe that we train for, and that is for learners for life. Graduates, you'll go out into the world and you'll make your mark. You'll not only be expected to practice your profession, but you'll also be called upon to address major issues affecting society, here and globally. Be prepared to help and participating in building communities, offering a helping hand to those that need it, and encouraging those that follow you, especially those who, like you, are ambitious and want to come to university. Help them. We know our world today, both here and elsewhere, can be a place of turmoil. There are wars, dislocation of peoples from their lands, all kinds of fundamentalisms, poverty, epidemics, and other crises of various sorts. You should challenge yourself to confront and engage with these issues and commit to making an effort throughout your life and in any way you can to solutions that will advance our society and the society of which you are part. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now explain what will happen. After the acting Vice-Chancellor has concluded, we will ask you to stand and the platform party will start by exiting. Please remain standing throughout. What will happen then is from the front to the next rows backwards, the graduates will then follow out. Please can I ask graduates in particular that as you go out, please don't stop at the top of the stairs. Go all the way down so that the people can follow you down. Otherwise, we have a crush at the top. And lastly, please I invite all of the graduates, all of the visitors to join us in the Leslie building. The Leslie building is next door for meeting, chatting, and some snacks and drinks. You just go down the stairs to the bottom, to the right, and you'll be instructed on where to go to the right. So with that, I'd like to wish you well, go well, and I hand over to Acting Vice-Chancellor.
Would you stand, please? By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of Cape.